teams, 2 conference. It's a road game for the Magic in this one. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. Coming in off the road, the Pelicans are back in New Orleans for this one.
This is the start of a brief homestand for them, but they may have a chance here, Kevin, to get some wins in front of their home fans before they head back out on the road.
And because you never know what's going to happen on that next road trip, it's much easier to control your own fate on a short homestand.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Orlando, they've got Jones. Paul out there with Kyle Korver. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Gasol. And at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's Caldwell-Pope. And there's the 3-second violation. Hill with it. Davis sets a screen. Rivers kicks to Hill. Drains it from beyond the arc. Hill's got the first 3 points tonight for the Pelicans.
And Scott Skiles has been around the league as a coach for a while now, coming home to where he played most of his career here in Orlando. And at times, he can be a demanding coach.
And that one's good. On defense, Orlando. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. And finished off by Rivers.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
Now, here is Hill. Davis sets a screen. Chandler, the pass to Hill. Misses off the right iron.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Kyle Korver, true laser. I mean, the most efficient catch-and-shoot jump shooter in the league, and maybe in league history. He tallied the second ever 50-50-90 season a year ago. Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
It's Davis on the wing. Good. The assist goes to Hill.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And Korver now in his 13th season in the NBA. Last season was his best ever, especially shooting.
Yeah, and he credits all of his improvement to the advanced off-season training regimen. Extremely dedicated. He moved his family to Santa Barbara to be closer to his trainer, and it's paid off.
Hill kicks to Chandler. And there's the pass to Davis. And he gets it to go. Davis has got his second basket of the night.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Now here's Gasol. Korver kicks to Gasol. Shot clock at 6. And the rejection by Embiid. And pushing it up. Here's New Orleans. Pass to Rivers. And here's Chandler from the arc. Paul grabs the board. Orlando's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. He dishes it to Jones. Here's the screen. Back to Paul. Inside. Embiid with the steal. And New Orleans pushing it up now. Wide open look. Goes back up. And Davis lays it in. Davis has got 6 points.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
And finished off by Gasol.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Now here's Embiid. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. The shot by Chandler, wide open. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Korver attacking. That one's a miss. His third shot of the game. He's made one of them. Chandler kicks to Davis. No good. Good work defensively by Gasol. Paul dishes to Korver. On the wing, Jones. Paul outside. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. Pelicans leading by 3. And finished off by Rivers.
And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong at attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic.
And looking at Joel Embiid, he has all the tools to be the game's next great center. He's raw, no doubt about that. And he'll have to overcome the injuries, but his combination of size, speed, agility, practically unparalleled.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Kufis checked in for Joel Embiid. Butler comes in for Wilson Chandler. And McCollum subbed in for Austin Rivers. McCollum kicks to Hill. They set the pick. McCollum passes to Butler. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Clock is at 3. McCollum. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Regarding Joel Embiid, what makes him even that much more unique as a young 7-footer, excellent shot mechanics and a feathery touch. In college at Kansas, he shot Greg 63% from the floor. Many of those were face-up jumpers.
And as the season wore on, he became money at the free throw line as well. Those are the kinds of unique attributes that make him an extra scary prospect.
Butler on the way. Morris with the rebound.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Mulligan, Hill. Paul dishes to Morris. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 4th assist in this one.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Orlando making some changes. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Kent Bazemore. And Smith subbed in for Chris Paul. A 3 from McCollum. That one's off. He's now 1 for 2. And the call will go against Caron Butler. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for New Orleans. Julius Randle's checked in for Davis. Hardaway comes in for C.J. McCollum. And it's Austin Rivers in for Hill. Marc Gasol is checked in for Orlando. Ken Bazemore comes in for Kyle Korver.
And Marc Gasol surprisingly nimble for a 7-footer. He really moves his feet well at both ends of the floor.
New Orleans making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. And we look at Marc Gasol now versus when he came into the league. Remarkable how that body of his, Clark, has transformed.
Kevin, he changed his diet and he dropped a bunch of weight. Believe it or not, he even grows vegetables at his house. He's really gone all in on the transformation of his body.
Clark, good information.
Yes, sir. That's what we do. That's what we do here.
Whew.
Info and entertainment.
Oh. Here's Gasol. And the Pelicans picked up 3 with their last shot. Bazemore gets the bucket. And here are the Pelicans now. And here's Rivers. And it's McCollum in the corner. Outside Butler. Dishes it to Randall. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
That's right. You got it. And he was also safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack.
Nash is checked in for Rivers. Orlando also making some changes. John Henson's checked in for Gasol. Terrence Jones comes in for Reggie Evans. And it's Korver in for Kent Bazemore. And here's Nash. After Kyle Korver hitting the 3. Outside Butler. To the wing on the left. And here's McCollum for 3.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
You know, it always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
New Orleans gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. He feeds it to Koufos. He kicks it to Nash. Randall with the ball. Jones covering. 3-pointer. Butler. Oh, and he almost had a 4-point play right there. He'll go to the line with a chance for 3.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there on the 3-point attempt.
You have to avoid fouls like that. As a defender, challenge the 3-point shooter, but run by him, not into him.
Kent Bazemore's checked in for the Magic. Paul comes in for Smith. And for Caron Butler, came into the league as a hard-nosed defender, good rebounder for a small forward. But it seems like as he matured, Greg, he became more of a 3-point marksman.
Great point. And you know, early in his career, the difficulty with the outside shot, his game was more about toughness. But like most smart veterans, he extended his range so he could live to play a little longer, which he certainly has.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
And, you know, going back to Caron Butler, he became a complete offensive player at the height of his career. I mean, he improved his ball handling so he could get his shot off from any place on the court. His pull-up, mid-range jumper, cash money. And in a couple years, he averaged nearly 5 assists a game.
So for the Pelicans, Chandler comes in for Butler, and it's Austin Rivers in for Nash. The Magic also changing it up. Marc Gasol's checked in for Henson. Caldwell Pope comes in for Morris, and it's Ish Smith.
Not fair. I mean, that is just not fair.
Went soaring in for the sweet flush. Beautiful.
This fella knows how to punch it in style.
Gasol is green on Rivers. The dish to Bazemore. Down low. And stolen by Koufos. Rivers with it. Gasol covering. Rivers kicks to Chandler. Good. And it's a 6-point Pelican lead.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start exactly what they were hoping for.
And there's the call on Austin Rivers. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Gasol. He's got 8. Smith on the wing. Ball's knocked loose.
How about the reaction time on that pass? Quick, and what good work there to get in the way of it.
Chandler, no good.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Pelicans leading by 6. Cullen passes to Rivers. Doubled by Smith. Fast break. Here come the Magic. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Feeds it to Gasol. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
At the line, the Pelicans. Marc Gasol. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Marc Gasol. So both teams changing it up here. Gasol drops 2. 12 seconds left in the first. Here's Rivers. Here's Randall. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pelicans XXV.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Pelicans.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
And keep an eye on the three-point shooting because that has been a factor as well. If they can maintain that current form, they can be successful.
So on the floor for Orlando, they've got Kyle Korver, John Henson out there with Evans, and it's Chris Paul, and it's Caldwell Pope in at the 3, the small forward. The Orlando Magic didn't make the playoffs last year for the 3rd consecutive season, Greg. They knew it wasn't a realistic goal for them.
Yeah, and last season wasn't really about making the postseason, Kevin, for this group. It's soon that will have to be the goal as patience will wear thin within that fan base.
The finish, and Embiid throws it down.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
Well, it's been a while for the Magic in regards to the postseason. Another year of missing postseason play. This latest playoff drought comes after they made 6 straight trips to the playoffs from 2007 to 2012. He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he fixed the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Outside Korver. Just 5 to shoot. And that one's good. Paul's got it all tied up now for the Magic.
And overall, this Orlando franchise has been pretty consistent in making the playoffs. They've had 14 playoff trips since the inception of the franchise back in 1989. Given how hard it can be for expansion teams, you have to say that's a solid mark.
Korver dishes to Paul. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Hill. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Hill's got his second bucket of the night.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Paul kicks to Caldwell Pope. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
It's a 3-second violation.
The Pelicans have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Paul with the steal. And the rejection by Embiid. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. Evans with the steal. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Paul goes in. Caldwell Pope kicks to Paul. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Paul's got 4 points now in the quarter. New Orleans has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Hill against Paul. Hill kicks to Davis. Evans with the steal. And now Orlando on the break. A shot by Paul. Nobody around. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Thompson misses.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Paul passes to Evans. Caldwell Pope kicks to Henson. 6 on the shot clock. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Davis. When you take a look at John Henson, you see one thing, length.
Yeah, a lot of it, too. I mean, he measures 6'9" with a 7'5" wingspan at the 2012 NBA Combine. His standing reach is actually 3.5 inches greater than that of Anthony Davis. Wow.
Right. C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for New Orleans. Then for the Magic, Terrence Jones is checked in for Evans. Morris comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Smith subbed in for Paul. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And he better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
Korver attacking. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That's his first foul.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Kufis checked in for New Orleans. Austin Rivers comes in for Hill. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
And Gasol sends it back. Korver gets a wide open look. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. And now it's a 4-point Magic lead. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Magic.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the intensity is carried over into their ability to get out in passing lanes and really be disruptive in terms of their opponent's offense.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And talking about Henson, obviously the great length helps him as a shot blocker. The young center is also very quick off his feet. He's averaged around 2.5 blocks a game over the past 2 seasons. He's also been contributing some as a rebounder, though really needs to add some weight to kind of take it to that next step.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Rando comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Butler in for Wilson Chandler. Smith outside. Kicks to Gasol. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Getting back to Henson, last year was an odd one for him. I mean, he was starting. Then in February, he was benched in favor of Zaza Pachulia. That might be a hint to Henson that he needs to put a little more work into his game to maintain a place in the rotation. We've watched Gasol play great basketball.
He has 14 points, and free throws have been big for him today, with 6 points from the line.
And it's important, and you can tell that he understands that in terms of getting to the line.
To the wing right side. Near the three-point line, it's McCollum. And the Pelicans miss again. Jones sets the pick for Smith. Morris right side. Shoots. Offensive rebound. Butler with the steal. And there's a whistle. That goes on Terrence Jones. That is his first foul of the game. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Rivers again. Smith. Now here's McCollum. He's covered closely. Here's Butler. Butler missing again.
Just doesn't seem to have it here in the second quarter.
Smith with it. Now defended by Randall. Left side Gasol. He had his back to the basket for over 5. That'll be a turnover.
That's a couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right on top of the other.
Time to just slow it down, make the simple play, and get a good shot.
Now here's McCollum. Tight defense on him. At the elbow, Randall. The feet to McCollum. That's good for his third bucket. Now 3 for 6 from the field. Magic leading by 4. Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican moniker.
Gasol inside, defended by Kufis, and finished off by Gasol.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risks to see if they can cut that lead down.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. They get Marc Gasol. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Julius Randle. Chandler comes in for Caron Butler. Hollis Thompson's checked in for McCollum. And George Hill's subbed in for Rivers. Morris outside. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
And as you said, I mean, New Orleans made the playoffs for the first time under the name Pelicans. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the Warriors in the first round and were promptly swept away.
And the Pelicans making a change. Embiid's checked in. Orlando also making some changes. Jones checked in for Morris. And it's Korver in for Kent Bazemore. Henson's checked in for the Magic. For New Orleans, they have yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
And thinking back to the Pelicans playoffs from last year, let a 20-point lead slip away in that fourth quarter of Game 3. But they played better than a sweep and got valuable postseason experience for that young roster.
Hill kicks to Thompson. Chance there to take the lead. Missing.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound numbers are very even.
Yeah, impressive effort from both on the back end.
And it's Paul penetrating. Henson dishes to Caldwell Pope. Buries the long-range jumper. Caldwell Pope's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Pass to Davis. Back to Chandler. Lets it go from deep. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Chandler's got the game tied up here for the Pelicans. Korver a screen on Hill. Paul kicks to Korver. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Korver's got 19 points.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Hill passes to Davis. The hook. Embiid, no good.
Yeah, and a dangerous trend here as they're starting to live and die with outside jumpers.
Really good point, Greg. I mean, you want to keep that balance, and attacking inside creates space for shooters, and having shooters creates opportunities inside, so it works hand in glove.
5 to shoot. The shot's good from Paul.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
Thompson outside. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
Paul against Hill. Jones kicks to Korver. Here's Paul. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Paul's got 8 points in the quarter.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Now here's Chandler. Defense is right there. Passes it to Davis. Hill has the open look. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Orlando out in front, up 3. And we'll return shortly. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Check out the game for Korver. 19 points and just an amazing performance from downtown.
He is pouring it in from 3, guys. You know how much I love to see guys knocking down buckets.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Nice game. Great performance by Kyle Korver.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Anthony Davis is out there with Embiid. Then there's Hardaway. And it's Caron Butler. And it's Rivers in at the 1. That's the Pelicans 5. Rivers again. Smith. Releases from 15. And Marc Gasol again. Gasol's got 20.
And Marc Gasol has become one of the league's most proficient post scorers. I mean, how about the footwork on that low block? He is a load down low.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Smith against Rivers. Right side Korver. There's a screen. Can't connect from short range.
Good little 2-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Lets the 3 fly. And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Now here's Rivers. He has 6. The pass to Embiid. He dishes it to Rivers. And another three for New Orleans.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
Almost a backboard breaker.
Trying to find Davis. He's got it now. Now that is his 7th field goal in 10 tries. He's shooting a very good 70%.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Hill comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Then for the Magic, Terrence Jones comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Kyle Korver. Pass to Jones. Morris outside. Dishes to Gasol. Just 5 on the clock. Lets it go from 11. And the foul on Kent Bazemore. That's his first foul. Pelicans trailed by 4. Hill dishes to Rivers. It's back to Hill. He kicks it to Davis. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Gasol. Gasol's got his 4th rebound in this one. The dish to Smith. Knocked loose. Stolen by Robinson. Goes up. And finished off by Rivers.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. In the 3rd quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Smith the pass to Jones. And it's off from 3-point range. New Orleans has gone 7 of 15 from 3-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Rivers kicks to Davis. Gasol with the steal. Fast break. Here come the Magic. And Morris throws it down.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Jumps up. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now.
One problem the Magic faced last season was depth. They really weren't a deep team, and it hurt them along the way.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, they had the 2nd fewest bench points in the league, and that number was really low because they didn't use the bench that often. And starters did a lot of the heavy lifting.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Kufis checked in for Davis. Orlando also making some changes. Henson's checked in for Gasol. Evans comes in for Jones. And Paul subbed in for Ish Smith.
And for the Magic, they will try and address the bench for this season, both through the draft and free agency.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
And guys, the Magic didn't luck out and jump into the top 3 in the draft. Still ended up with a high pick, and that'll help add another nice piece to their puzzle. They've accumulated a lot of good pieces, but now they need to start making it work.
New Orleans making some changes here. Julius Randle's checked in for Robinson, and it's C.J. McCollum in for Rivers. And the change for the Magic. Caldwell Pope's checked in. Feeds it to McCollum. Beyond the arc. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 6 assists now in the game. Magic leading by 5. Al Paul. 12 points for him. And Orlando again with the bucket.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Hill with it. He's got 5. McCollum kicks to Randle. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. The feed to McCollum. 4 on the shot clock. And Henson sends it back.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
The drive by Hill to the inside. Kicks it to McCollum. Outside Butler. Can't hit. Good work defensively by Paul. Evans setting the pick for Paul. Evans at the elbow. Here's Bazemore. He's guarded by Hill. Pass to Caldwell Pope. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Here's Paul. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Paul's got 6 points in the quarter.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
Pick up by Hill. McCollum kicks to Hill. Hands it from downtown. Hill's got 8 points.
That's 2 straight quick 3-pointers they've allowed.
Defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness.
Over in the corner, Paul. It's stolen by Hill. Here's the screen. He feeds it to Randle. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Nice touch there near the hoop. You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
To the left wing. Now, here's Kufis, defended by Henson. And here's McCollum. He's got 10. And it's Kufis missing.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
And you look at Reggie Evans, he hasn't done a lot as a basketball player, but what he does really well. Rebound like a maniac. And he defends the post as if his family is in danger.
A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Embiid, he's checked in for Kufis. Anthony Davis comes in for Julius Randle. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Butler. And it's Rivers in for George Hill. Smith dishes to Jones. Outside Korver. Here's Gasol. And he dunks it down.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
When one thinks of Reggie Evans, one word often comes to mind: hustle. It's through sheer relentlessness that he's made it over 13 years, Greg, in this NBA.
You know, he always gives maximum effort. And the numbers and usage rate were down a little last year, but I believe he still has the fire and energy to give you a few good minutes every game.
Morris, no good.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Terrence Jones. And that'll be his third foul so far. Here's McCollum. Rebound by the Magic.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Screen by Jones. Korver passes to Gasol. Clock at 6. Fader on the way. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Pelicans trail by 8. Rivers kicks to Chandler. Here's Davis. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
So far, going for more of an inside game here in this second half, and I like that. A little smash mouth basketball, taking it inside.
And Anthony Davis, growing up in the rough south side of Chicago, because of the violence, his father didn't let him venture to the playground. Instead, he built a basketball court in the backyard. This young man has come a long way.
Morris dishes to Jones. Magic moving the ball around. The 3 from Korver. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. And now it's up to 25 points in the game for Kyle Korver. And Davis stayed around the game in grade school. He'd keep the clock, sell the tickets, even someone said sell nachos.
Humble beginnings, partner, humble beginnings. Didn't even dream of NBA stardom. Said he wanted to be a high school coach. Obviously, things have changed now.
Jones. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, good job to take it right at him.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. I mean, he had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
New Orleans making a switch here. Randall's checked in. And a switch here also for Orlando. Henson's checked in. We've got 28 seconds left in the third quarter. Embiid sets the pick for Rivers. McCollum, no good.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
And it's Korver off the drive. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
Terrence Jones.
Korver's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
12 through 3 quarters of play. Down. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Pelicans trail by 12. Fourth quarter on the floor for the Magic. Jones is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's John Henson. Then there's Kyle Korver. And it's Smith in at the point guard position. Butler kicks to Rivers. Just 5 to shoot. No good with the triple.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of it.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
And stolen by Kufis. Here's Hardaway. And Jones sends it back. About a minute played here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Henson. Deflects the pass. And here we go. And it's Hardaway with the jam.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark? Brilliant throwdown.
Just exerting his authority on that play.
And the pass to Morris. Had the space there, but it's offline. Butler kicks to Randall. He dishes it to Hardaway. Korver attacking to the inside. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. Julius Randle picks one up.
Oh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Hardaway from outside. And that one's good.
And tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
You called it, Greg. As much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Evans setting the pick for Paul. Pass to Evans. And he jams it with authority.
Well, you can't give him that kind of a position in the post.
Oh, without question. I mean, when he gets it in that tight and that close, that's easy. Real easy.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. And a change for the Magic. Marcus All's checked in for Henson. Here's Hill. Dishes to McCollum. Embiid kicks to Chandler. Hill passes to Davis. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. You look at what Anthony Davis has accomplished so far in his career. The historic comparisons. I mean, they're mind-boggling. For a kid 23, Greg, the historic comparisons are very favorable for him.
I mean, he's been compared to a young KG and Duncan quite often. But in his first few seasons, his numbers look the most similar to Hakeem the Dream. And that's about as good a company as you can get.
The drive by Paul. Can't get it to go. Pelicans trail by 10. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Davis playing very well. He has 20 points, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the free throw line.
And Clark, that might not make the highlight reel, but those are important points nonetheless.
You know, and the funny thing about Davis having similar numbers to Hakeem, he came very close last season in putting up a quadruple double. Hakeem was one of only 4 people to ever accomplish that.
And McCollum with the slam.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Right side Gasol. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That one on Embiid.
You know, Davis might get a quadruple double at some point. Last season he had 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks on 4 different occasions. The rest of the NBA had a combined 0 in that category.
He's having a great game at the free throw line, Kevin. His hot streak continues.
And Chandler, here we go. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Randall's checked in for New Orleans. There's the dish to Gasol. Back to Paul. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Usually you talk about how tough a player is, and you're always talking about big guys. But Chris Paul is as tough as they come playing that little point guard position.
Yeah, he's a power pack when you look at him. I mean, he's played through a lot of injuries and still has a big-time impact on the game. Most recently in the playoffs, he played through injury to beat the Spurs.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And last year, you could see Paul was hobbled in their loss to the Rockets in the second round. Still, most players wouldn't even have made it back out on the floor, much less been as effective as he was during the postseason.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, over that last break, I listened in on Alvin Gentry's huddle. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Yeah, you know, that's the thing about Paul. He doesn't need to be blazing fast or quick to beat you. He can play seemingly on one leg and still dismantle a defense.
Korver, screen on Hill. Smith drives in. Here's Korver for three. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 6 assists now in the game. Outside Hill. To the paint. Trying to find Kufis. Gets it to him. Good work defensively by Morris. That's a 2 from Korver. No good. And New Orleans will come the other way. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Hill dishes to Chandler. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, when I think of Wilson Chandler, what comes to mind is supreme athleticism. He can throw it down with the best of them. And yet he's still working on the other areas of his game to be more well-rounded.
Some changes for New Orleans. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Kufis. Anthony Davis comes in for Randall. And it's Austin Rivers in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Outside Korver. There's the 3. And again, it's Orlando with the 3. You know, back to Wilson Chandler, he's somewhat of a wild card. One of the few guys to go overseas. Remember, Greg, during that NBA lockout in 2011, he signed to play for China and didn't negotiate an out clause when he signed.
Yeah, and truth is, Chandler's one of those guys who can give you some solid minutes, but you hope at some point that he gets serious and commits to reaching his full potential.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Well, this is really one of the nicer buildings in the NBA, right downtown Clark, this home of the Pelicans across from the Superdome.
Kevin, you're always worried about how close we are to Bourbon Street when we come here, man. But yeah, this was a fortress for the Pelicans last season as they won some big games here for sure.
And you talk about the big wins here for the Pelicans last year. How about they beat the Warriors late in the year, which was huge to get into the postseason, as well as the Spurs on that final day to fight their way into that 8th spot.
New Orleans making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Marcus All's checked in for John Henson. Terrence Jones comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Kyle Korver. And Paul subbed in for Smith.
And, you know, the Pelicans ended 28-13 here last season. A 6-win improvement for them from the season before. They can be a scary team when this place is jumping.
He hits the second from the line.
Chandler playing very well. He has 14 points, and he's done a little bit of work behind the arc. He's got a pair of 3-pointers.
And you know what? The defenders have that in the back of their minds now. They'll be on him a little tighter.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Davis kicks to Hill. And he can't bank that one in.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebound.
You know what? That rebound has always been a critical element of the game, and that's why they are now understanding how to win.
New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity, I think, Clark, that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was just over 25 years old, and the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect leads. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
A three from McCollum, but they'll get another chance. And again, no good by New Orleans. Feeds to Bazemore. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Jones the pass to Bazemore. Paul dishes to Gasol. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. That one on Chandler.
And you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. Orlando also making some changes. Caldwell Pope comes in for Marcus Morris. And it's Korver in for Kent Bazemore. There's the feed to Hardaway. Fires for three. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Jones has got 9 rebounds now tonight. Paul with the ball. Picked up by Rivers. Screen by Jones. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. And now that's 35 points in the game for Kyle Korver. Picked by Randall. Butler up top. He kicks it to Randall. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And one feels bad for the way Julius Randle's career started. I was there that night. First game of the season, 7th pick out of Kentucky in the 2014 draft. Suited up for one game, broke his right leg 14 minutes in. And the guy that comforted him the most, I recall very vividly, Kobe Bryant stayed with him the entire time when he was really in shock on the floor.
He was, and unfortunately, for so many reasons. For one, he had really been progressing in the Summer League, and the Lakers obviously had high hopes for him. And when he went down, that was the start of the rest of the ship kind of going down with him.
Kicks it out to Paul. Pass to Gasol. And another shot with the clock winding down. Koufos with the block.
And that's an important rebound, especially on a night where the board work has not been their best.
But they're still in this one, fellas. Can they pump it up a notch here in the clutch? And, you know, going back to Randall's rookie year, his troubles really started during medical checkups before the draft. They found a foot injury dating back to high school. The 5th metatarsal had been broken, which may be why he fell a few spots in the draft.
And I love the fact that he didn't have to slow down or adjust there. The pass was just timed perfectly.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
And talking about Randall's rookie injuries, the Lakers were going to let him play through the foot. But once he broke the leg, they did season-ending surgery on the foot as well. Hopefully, now he can just stay healthy and get to play the game he loves.
Magic leading by 9. Screen by Jones. Paul kicks to Korver. Gasol passes to Caldwell Pope. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And the Magic lead by 11. New Orleans gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Rivers dishes to Randall. Kicks to Rivers. Inside. Thompson. Rejected by Gasol. And taken away by Paul. Oh, and here comes Korver all alone. And yes, sir, that one drops. Korver's got 18 points just in the second half. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Magic.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they defended the rim as they challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
Paul kicks to Caldwell Pope. Passes it to Paul. 5 on the clock. And he gets it to go. Paul's got 4 points in the quarter.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Magic.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, Steve, and in the end, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, Clark, and that's all part of the story.
That's right, Kevin. I mean, this was by no means a runaway that it might appear to have been. I mean, it was a scrappy performance all the way through.
And now, for the year, this is going to take him to 7 wins.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Korver. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
He misses the free throw.
Shooting for New Orleans, Mark Gasol. 2 shots.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Guys, untidy. You've got to value the possession of the basketball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
For New Orleans, Austin Rivers.
And he's good on the second. Now, here is Smith. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it.
Quando eu me vi só nesse lugar, eu pensei que preciso sair pra me libertar. Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar, nunca no mesmo lugar. Seja sozinho a dois, o resto eu vejo depois. Mas só em pensar que boca, sua face. Tudo que eu pedisse, só você que me desse. Aí pensando Deus se esse quarto falasse. Mas que pena, já era. Não deixo mais aquela tão bela e singela. E nem dá. Por quê? Se eu ouço a voz dela é através de alô. Se passou pela favela é porque alguém me falou. Então já que me deixou por aqui, aprendi a viver um pouco sozinho. Mas o que eu posso fazer, fia, se eu gosto da boemia. Essa noite pra mim é dia, mas posso mudar. Mas como isso é questão de tempo, então isso nem tenho muito, nem curto. Fica de canto, eu prefiro suar. Quando eu me vi só nesse lugar, eu pensei que preciso sair pra me libertar. Seja com quem for, a minha vida cantar. Nunca no mesmo lugar, seja sozinho a dois. O resto eu vejo depois. O resto eu vejo depois, talvez. Pode ser que uma mina firmeza possa trombar no rolê. É isso, deixa comigo, é só seguir o sentido e despertar os picos floridos. Mas não, pera lá, deixa eu falar, né assim. Para mim tem que ter valor. Não é só chegar e abusar, nem forjar, nem fingir que nem dá pra sentir o amor. Ó fita, ela não confia mais em mim, acredita. No conto das minas que pra mim foi uma zica. Tava tudo claro, mas a cena complica.